Guys, if we don't know something, it's okay for us to keep quiet about it. It is very misleading to tell people that African spirituality is Black Christianity, because it's not. Just like you mention sources from a book or a movie or an article, doesn't make it unique because it comes from the Bible or the Quran. These same books are in the fiction aisle in a library, for a reason. Telling people that they need to put an altar up in their home to connect to their ancestors that have been rooting for them and are very present in their life is destructive and dangerous. You're putting people in a situation where they could welcome unwanted spirits. I don't know where this obsession about an altar comes from. It's not fair to do that to someone else. It's not fair that you make them feel like they have to do specific things for their ancestors to be present in their life. Everyone's ancestors are present in their lives. The mere acknowledgement of them being present is enough. Saying Jesus is an honorable ancestor for a Black person, painting him black, is a personal issue with you trying to identify yourself with lower species and recruiting people to do the same with you. Forcefully trying to insert yourself in a story that was never about you. Beating your chest about Jesus being from the north and yet the map is upside down contradicts that statement. You know your mother and father. You know your grandparents. They know their parents and their grandparents. Those are your ancestors, people that you know. Not someone who had to be brought to your people to forcefully enslave them, not only physically but mentally. On the Jesus boat, there were people unnecessarily thrown overboard to force the rest to pray. It happened for days. These religions did nothing for your people. And now you're forcefully trying to rewrite the story so that it can fit your narrative. African spirituality is not that complicated. African spirituality has nothing to do with being Christ-like. It's having Ubuntu. It's going back to who we were before the infiltration. African spirituality is trusting each other. Nowadays, we have our own people watching our own people being unalived in front of them, not doing a damn thing. African spirituality is stepping in. African spirituality is my child is your child. African spirituality is every Black child is mine, and I will protect them at all costs. African spirituality means you trust me as your sister and I trust you as my sister or brother. African spirituality is knowing your ancestors exist in your peripheral, is knowing that everything will eventually make sense, is knowing that almost everything you've learned is a lie, and being able to tell. African spirituality is being given information by a humanoid person about your history and knowing that because it doesn't sit well with you, it is not true. African spirituality is song. It's sound. It's dance. It's embracing who you are and not needing a bill to be passed in order for you to just merely exist. The only reason you're trying to complicate it is because you want it to have order. Because you feel like it has to be written in a book to make sense. We give life to all these religions. We are the spirit in spirituality.